I like that dog.
It's America's 250th anniversary, and we're celebrating the only way we know how, with bigger savings than ever before at Capital Ford in Santa Fe. Like a new 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend with 0% APR plus $1,000 down payment assistance. Or a new 2026 Ford Explorer Active with 3.9% APR plus $1,000 down payment assistance during America's 250th anniversary at Capital Ford in Santa Fe.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pit Press and Lobo Legends. And you probably recognize these three. We've got Katie Montgomery Havlet, we've got Jana Francis Speck, and Julie Briotti Dorsey. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
Good. How are you?
Oh, doing good, doing good. Good to have you guys on. This has been a lot of fun. So feel free on every and any story you'd like. But I'm going to start above with Katie. What have you been up to these days?
Well, me and my husband live in Nebraska still. We live right outside of Lincoln. About 8 years ago, we got an acreage out here, and we are just raising our 8 children.
You got a starting 5 and subs.
Yeah, so we have 7 boys and 1 girl. So
my God, you're a saint.
It's a little loud and messy, and there's like holes in the walls and everything, but you know. So yeah, and so we have like a almost 16-year-old all the way down to a 2-year-old. So
oh, that's awesome. What's the biggest challenge right now?
I would say probably the mental load of dealing with the high school stuff, and then also like the 2-year-old stuff. Like,
oh wow,
just the really important things are starting to come up, and then you are messing with like a kid that's like taking off his diaper and running around, you know. So it's just like a lot of things happening.
Yeah. Well, gosh darn it. Yeah, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. How's your mom and dad?
They're doing great. We just actually saw them. My brothers were all home at the beginning of August, so we usually go for a few days, and so we all spent time together, and we see them. They're in Kansas City, so about 3 hours from us, so we get to see them. You know, they'll come down in the fall, and then we see them around the holidays, and then in the spring stuff, so we see them quite often.
Sounds good. Yeah. Jana, what about you? What have you been up to?
Well, I only have 2 children, 2 boys, and 10 and 12. And we recently just moved back to New Mexico from Texas in January. So I'm doing sheep and cattle and goats, and that's kind of my life right now, chasing kids, and it's been good. It's been fun, just ranching.
Do any of your boys play sports?
Both boys play basketball. One plays baseball, and both of them play football.
That's awesome. And you're in Artesia.
Yes.
Huge football school. Well,
yes.
It used to be. I think it still is.
Yes. We went to our first game on Friday and saw the dog pile and all their kind of traditions and stuff. So it was really neat. And yes, they're definitely way into football here. So that's good. It's
That's
exciting.
awesome. God, welcome back to New Mexico. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Julie, I know you're running around. What have you been up to?
Well, just exactly that. My husband, college sweetheart, David, and I live in a small North Texas town called Gunner. If you were to look it up on a map, it's spelled Gunter. But if you're actually from Gunner, you call it Gunner. So super small. We have 5 kiddos. There for a while, Katie and I had a good competition going. And I said, I'm out.
Well, you had twins. Yours don't count. You had 2 sets of twins. I mean,
that's true. So I have a daughter that's a sophomore.
Harper
plays basketball and runs track, hurdles. We had our first set of boy twins are in 8th grade. and they do basketball, baseball, football. And then our younger set of boys are in 5th grade, and they also do the same basketball, football, and baseball. So they keep us busy. We don't quite live on a ranch, but we live on 3.5 acres and have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a lot of chickens. So keeps us busy.
Good. And how's your family? Jan, I forgot to ask, how's your mom and dad doing?
Very good. Very good.
Awesome.
Chasing around grandkids.
I'm having a hard time hearing Jana. I don't know if that is
Huh.
Turn you up.
Better.
Maybe Eric can move that up. I don't know. Are you good? But they're doing well?
They're doing very well. Yeah.
Good.
Chasing around. My sister has 3 kids. I have 2. So they're doing the grandparent thing, running around.
How about you, Julie? How's everybody with you?
Same. Good. Parents are still back in Indiana, enjoying the retired life. My dad travels a lot. My mom, she does still like to go to the beach, but she also is taking care of some great grandkiddos. So she's busy with that.
That's awesome. Well, man, it seems like yesterday you guys were still filling the pit with 3-pointers, and when Florida was asking who Jana Francis was in that first round of the NCAA tournament, which was awesome. A lot of NCAA tournaments for you guys, a lot of pit crowds in 18,018 coming to the pit. And I'm trying to think, the pit was not renovated when you guys left, was it? Yeah.
No.
So you had the full effect of the crowd. I still think that was kind of the best. Starting with you, Julie, name some really good memories that you have against whoever.
Oh gosh, I mean, I honestly think just any home game for us back then, it was always exciting to see if we were going to sell it out or not. So I think just having the best fans in the nation at that time was just thrilling in itself. So I would honestly say any home game that we got to experience all of the support.
Yeah. Any one team that you liked playing, like yourself?
I mean, I definitely think the Utahs and the Wyoming, BYU, all those good conference battles that we used to have. Definitely. I mean, I know USC came in one year, which was kind of big for us.
Yeah.
That was cool. There's a picture in there.
Yeah. Katie and I's career.
Yeah, my favorite.
That was wasn't that our first game as a freshman?
One of our first home games, yeah. I don't recall it. But yeah, that was
that did the schedule.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. I think that is. And I think I remember that one.
That was awesome. I think Ebony Hoffman, who's in the background, unbelievable player. She's an assistant coach, and I forget with who now. Might be the Sparks. But I remember she had a 3 to win it, because I think we won by 2. She shoots from the top of the key. It's dead on, and it just hits the back iron and leaves. I remember that, and I'm like, oh my God, that was a pretty cool win. So, and I think that might have been a sellout, or pretty close.
Yeah, that game was pretty special.
Yeah, that was good. What about you, Katie?
I think I think we played Texas a couple times, didn't we? And I remember when our freshman year we went to Texas and got like smoked. Like, I think they were like number 4, I think. And I think maybe it was my junior year. They came to the pit, and I think we won, and they were like in the top 10. So I remember that game. And then I also remember a Minnesota game.
Yes.
I think that was like they were in the top 10 also. And again, I think we went there one year and they killed us. And then when they came to the pit, we so like those are a few. And obviously the conference rivals were always a big
you and the redhead, Lana Sitterud. You guys had your battles. But I think that one was in Denver. That because you played 2 out of 3 in Denver, right?
Yeah.
Or 2 out of 4 with
2 out of 4. Yeah.
Vegas twice. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Jana?
I'll agree with Katie. The Texas games, of course. Sweet 16, Texas Tech. Ouch in the ending, but also very cool. So awesome memory there. But anytime we play a Texas team, being from Texas and beating them, I can't remember how excited we were for those games. But I'll say that one. I enjoyed playing Oklahoma. I enjoyed playing, Florida. I remember one year we were coming down the pit and they were right in front of us and we were waiting to run out and they were hooping and hollering and making all kinds of noise in front of us. And we kept just going, are they ever going to run out? And we would kind of do our thing and then they would do their thing. And it was just almost like a battle inside the tunnel before we even ran out on the floor. So I've always had to deal with Florida just going, oh.
I never knew that, actually.
Yeah.
We were always down waiting for you guys. Mm-hmm. So I never knew that was kind of the battle of the voices there.
Yeah, they had the it's when they had the big curtains closed and they were supposed to run out first.
Right.
And so it took us forever to get down on the floor because they would never run out. And they would never run out. It's all like they were waiting on us. So
yeah. Man, that was amazing. Any road trips that you guys remember that you love to go on? I mean, I know we didn't do a lot of tournaments away because we had to drive to them or they had to be drivable.
I mean, obviously, it looks like California there. Maybe I know what I remember not liking going to was Wyoming in the winter.
Oh gosh,
how frigid it was.
Yeah, that was. Remember, we'd eat at that one place in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it was, Anthony's or something like that.
Yeah.
So we'd always We'd always take that picture out there. But San Diego State was always a battle. Man, look how young you guys were. You
oh my gosh!
Wow.
Jeez, that was a long time ago.
Those are all great pictures, and it's funny how some of you guys overlap.
Oh yeah,
with just different eras and different deals. But yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good one. Those are fun. What did you like better, Vegas or Denver in the conference tournament?
I liked Vegas.
Yeah,
I'd say Vegas.
That's kind of the contention.
Mm-hmm.
The pit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was always fun when our families were there, and I mean, a lot of them came to that, and and those times we stayed the whole week. It was kind of like you keep winning, you keep staying, and that was fun.
Who are those two people?
That's a good
gosh.
Golly. It was fun for Vegas. And I tell people this now because back then the men and women were kind of in conjunction with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we always started first on a Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Then the men started Thursday. But, if you kept winning, you stayed. And it was great because by the time you reached the finals, and we were in it, you had our fans and then the men. The year we both won, it was a few years we both won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it was just it was an amazing fan base. And I remember the men were playing UNLV, won finals, and we had more fans than UNLV did. I remember that. And UNLV men were not happy. They were not happy at all, but we gobbled up all the tickets and we ended up winning that year, and so did the men. That was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But what NCAA tournament that sparks your guys' memory the most?
Oh, for me, I mean, it was that Florida game, right? I mean, getting past that. I mean, we just couldn't miss. I mean, it was just one of those. I think we beat him by 30, didn't we?
It was
something like that.
30.
And that was the year.
Because go ahead.
Was that Jana and Abby's senior year, or was that Mandy and? Yeah, that was.
No,
I just remember. Yeah, I just remember. That it was just really fun, and then it's winning that game, and then you get to stay longer, and it's just so much fun.
I think we played Baylor the next game, didn't we?
We did.
And then
and
then they won the national championship the year before or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had just played LSU, Tennessee. I think that they had beat them, so it was
because our Baylor game was close. Yeah, our Baylor game was close
for a while. Yeah.
Couldn't get over the hump, and Sophia Young had a great game against us.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget, they kept leaving Katie open and Jana couldn't miss. And then even Elaine Elliott, because remember that was the year that we had, it was kind of the regionals. So we were there was a group of 4, and then there was another group of 4 playing, but we never played them. Utah was there, but they were kind of in a different bracket. It was kind of weird how they did it. And I remember Elaine up top, she kept saying, "You got to guard her." To Florida. And Katie's like, "Okay, I guess I'll shoot it again." But Jana, you had 20, I think, 18 or 20 that game. You
I had a
you
few.
had a heck of a
I
game.
don't remember.
Yeah.
You
It was
didn't
a good
miss.
game. The next game was
Yeah.
not so good for me, but
Well,
that game worked out.
yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, but man, it was just an era of
Mhm.
I thought we'd get back. I thought we'd get back to the pit, but I think that was the year that Maryland ended up getting to the pit. They beat Utah to go to the Final Four and won it all that year.
Yeah, because didn't Utah go to the pit, and that's what made us more
Yeah,
angry,
because
right?
remember Shona Thorburn had 2 free throws to seal it. Because they're up 3.
Yeah.
Utah's up 3 with 6 seconds left around there. She misses both. Christy Tolliver dribbles down the right side. I'll never forget. Hits a 3. It goes into overtime, and then Maryland wins it.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah, I
advance
think
and go to
that
the
I
Final
think that
Four in
was
Boston.
what made us more mad, right? Because it's like we had to go watch them at the
Yeah.
pit, and we didn't get to play.
Mhm.
And I forget who Baylor lost to. Baylor might have lost to Maryland. Because who was at the pit that year? It was Maryland. It was Baylor. It was Utah, and I forget who the 4th team was.
Julie probably knows.
Yeah.
I'm trying real hard to remember.
Yeah, I forget, but it was a pretty good tournament. It was
Yeah.
it was really good, but it was Maryland's time. Maryland had won like 2 or 3 games in overtime that year, just to get they won the national championship in overtime,
Yeah.
and it was a Christy Tolliver 3 that brought them there. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Well,
I mean,
But,
I think it's like I think we took for granted back then that we actually got to go to the tournament like all 4 years, you know?
yeah,
I think
No,
that I don't think that is that common, you know, that you get to go for 4 years. And so I think like now you look back and you're like, man, that was really awesome. For
well, and
every
it
year
was
we got to
kind
go.
of it was an expectation. Hey,
Right.
you know, it was like we're not scheduling for the NIT. We're
Right.
scheduling to go to the tournament, and that's why hang on, Maverick. Sorry. And that's why we played. It's probably a ghost. That's why we played the teams that we played during the course of the year. We played the Texas Techs and the Texas, because if anything were to come up, we wanted that at large bid.
right.
Because I forget what seed we were when we won it with your year. Because who did we play? Didn't Utah like lose or? I forget who we played your senior year, Jana. To I thought we played like Colorado State, Wyoming, and then BYU or something like that.
I feel like
Well,
wasn't it UNLV?
I can't
were
remember
in
who
the
it was. We lost
never
the
played-
Mountain West
yeah.
that year. That was the
Yeah.
year we lost the Mountain West tournament. So we were
UNLV, we lost in the first round
So
of
we lost to
UNLV.
UNLV.
It was the
Yeah,
first round.
Jana's senior year, we
That's
lost in the first
right.
round. But we had a good season, so that's why
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
that's
go.
why we
we
were
did.
kind of nervous about making it into the NCAA that
You know
year.
what? I remember we were pretty beat up because I remember Abby was hurt a little bit.
I think I was hurt.
Katie, you
But-
were banged up and you were on a boot, I think.
Mhm.
I don't know, Julie, if you were or not. You guys were really banged up.
Yeah.
And then we lose, and then we have that whole week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we go
I remember
home.
being mad we had to work out. I remember going back. Why are we
And it was
working
the
out?
best. Yeah, it was the best thing because then we go to Tucson and
Yeah.
kick the crap out of Florida.
Yeah.
And then really, you know, it's funny because Kim Mulkey and I still talk about that game. Remember when we kept tipping the ball out of bounds and they scored on that stupid baseline out of bounds play
Ugh.
every single time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it. I was like, you know. So every time Kim Mulkey has a milestone, I always tell her, "We have a great baseline out of bounds play for you." So, and we just laugh about that because it was screener.
Mhm.
But we laugh. But Sophia Young was pretty darn good, and they had who else did they have?
They had really tall. They had someone really tall.
Yeah, they did.
Who was
Yeah.
it?
I remember who that was.
I'm trying to remember back then, but they had a couple of guards. And then I remember obviously Sophia
Has
Young, and then they had some,
Odyssey Sims, was she there? Odyssey Sims at that time?
you know what? No,
Right
because we
after?
played them. We played them when I was at Michigan,
Yeah, okay, so she's a little younger.
and so she was then. I think. You know what? No, you might be right. It
I
was
just
Odyssey
remember them
Sims.
having a good guard. I can't remember who it was.
You know what? It was it Jasmine Player? It was Jasmine Player.
Yeah, you might be
Maybe.
right.
When
Yeah.
we played our freshman year, Julie and I's freshman year at the Pit. We played Florida for the first round. Who was that? Who was that huge girl they had?
Vanessa Hayden.
That's yeah. Because I remember like that was the first thing to the tournament. I was like, dang,
Wow.
she's big.
Yeah. And then remember she used to palm it with one hand when she got the rebound, and she was just like, yeah. So, but it was just it was fun.
That's so fun.
No, those were good times. Hopefully you guys took some of those pictures, because you know what? I have a bunch, so I just need to start sending some to you. You know, another reason I'm doing this podcast is Amy Egan, who just got the job at UNM. I know she really wants to connect with the alumni, and you know, I know you guys are chasing kids, and some of you guys can get on, and it was good to see you guys on the other night. But she really wants you guys back. She really wants to connect with you guys. I think it's great because I never want people to forget what you guys did. You're a very vital part of not only the University of New Mexico, but the women's basketball era and tradition. I think she's going to do a great job. I really do. And, you know, it'd be great to have, I mean, her door's open. It's always going to be open. So when you guys get back, go and see the team practice. She really wants you guys to do that. And I know it's a little bit hard for some of you guys chasing kids. But if there's an opportunity, you know, I'm just trying to help her. And I told her I'd help her any way possible, because I think it's important to give support. Number one, I think that's really important, but I think it's important to never forget what you guys did. You know, Coach was always ahead of his time. Coach Flanagan was, I thought, and, you know, to have, you know, post players shoot threes, to have 18,018, that's a good one, in the Pit, to, you know, to just, you know, be able to, I mean, people don't realize that UNM's women's basketball was folded in 1988 to fire a head coach, and they just completely dropped the program. And it's almost unheard of talking about that now in the era of women's basketball. But, you know, to get it back, and then to get you guys to do what you guys did, it's very rare. And I think they can get it back to where you guys had it. I really do. And I know it's a different time. It's a different era. You guys would have made a ton of money.
Yeah, right? It's like, dang.
It kind of sucks. You guys would have made a ton of money. But, you know, I think it's good, you know, for you guys to get back and maybe pass along the torch and really talk to those kids about what you guys experienced. Because I do like Amy and her staff, and they're really trying to get you guys back to do what you need to do. You know, to be part of, not to just say I played at New Mexico, but to really feel part of it. Like, you know, I watch games now all across the country, and I'll go to UConn games now because it's fun to go out there, and Chris and I will talk a lot afterwards, but you always see UConn legends back in the building watching games with their kids. And I think you're no different. You guys were huge legends. You know, Katie, you can talk about, you know, the triplets, Julie, Jana. You guys met families there that you still have for a lifetime. You really do. Actually, talk about that. You know, and Jana, I'll let you go first. What fans or people do you still stay in touch with?
Well, my old landlord recently just passed away, but you know, I'd go back and see her, you know, once or twice a year for the last, gosh, I guess we've been out quite a while now, since about 2009, I guess, is when I started living with her. But, you know, I think for us, you know, we were all such great friends and family all together. You know, we did everything together. We would do Thanksgivings together and Christmas together. And, you know, we knew each other's family. And you know, we'd go see each other, go to each other's hometowns. And, you know, I think that's just something that made our team really, really special. You know, the years that I was there, you know, the seniors took us in when we got there. And then I like to think that, you know, we were the same way with the players underneath us. But, you know, it was just such a great feeling, because it really didn't matter, you know, if you were playing or if you're sitting on the bench. You know, we got there and competed against each other when it was time. But then, you know, most of the time we all lived together, so we'd go home and sit and watch, The Bachelor together or whatever. But I think it was just, more probably about the friends that I had on the team that, I still
For
see them all
sure.
the time, try to talk to them all the time,
Yeah.
best I can. We're all busy with kids and everything else, but, you get us all back together and it'd be just like yesterday.
Yeah, you won't miss a beat. That's for sure. That's what I've
Agreed.
noticed doing all these podcasts, and it's been awesome. What about you, Julie?
Yeah, I mean, I think to echo what Jana said, it's like anytime we travel a lot as a family, and so anytime we go by way of Lincoln, I'm checking in with Katie, going, "Hey, you guys home?" So we've stopped in, and can you imagine a house full of her eight?
What's 5 more kids?
4 more boys, might you add? Like poor Annie and Harper. Like they're just like.
So if we get, in any direction where we know, a former teammate is or whatever, we'll pop in and say hi. I'm just even thinking just via Facebook. I mean, I keep up with some of our old trainers and managers and I was looking through pictures going, oh yeah, I remember that group of people, just how supportive they were. They were just there all the time. But yeah, exactly what Jana said. I mean, I think it's different now, but I think our group of girls, we just had such a bond. I mean, we were just so close, and with the families too. I mean, Katie's mom, we still call her Mama Lou. It's like, and she'll check in with my parents, and they check in with her, and so it's a lifelong friendship, and it's beautiful. Yeah, it really.
Yeah, that's been the best part about all of it, is trying to tell you guys during that time, but then you see you guys a few years later. What about you, Katie?
I mean, I think this is kind of the same stuff as these girls. I mean, just the friendships you make. I mean, you go away from home when you're 18, right? And all of a sudden you're around this group of girls and you have no idea, you don't know them, and then it's just so quickly you become very close and you live with them, you're around them basically 90% of the time. And even with the coaches. And so I just think that it's just I think it was a very unique group. I think we were all. I think it's rare to have, like, we just had very similar values and very similar like experiences, and it was just like, I just bonded right away. And like they're your family for like 4 years, right? And so you're going through everything with them. And then the Clark family for me when was very, and I think a lot of like you guys, Jan and Julie, and some of our other teammates also met them and spent a lot of time with them. But I think I met them after my freshman year. And it was just a unique situation. Obviously they had triplets, and they had 2 boys and a girl, and their girl's name was Katie. And it was just, it just was a weird, like, how did this happen? And then, I mean, ever since, and then I met them, and it was just like a bond right away with them. And they basically became my family there. My parents were really far away, and when my parents came to visit, they would stay with them, and like we'd have, Thanksgiving meals there, and then we still go out and down and visit them. There's a lot of years in a row for our family vacation. We would go down to New Mexico, and we would just stay with them, and now their kids are all grown and stuff, and it's been a few years now, but I was just actually texting with Nadine tonight, like just the random things. And so it's just, we're so very close, and they're just so supportive and just such a great family to be around, and just a lifelong. So
no, that's awesome. I think you guys too, and we were talking about even with Katie Kern's era, talking with Tamika Stukes and those guys, and then with the last group with Jordan, even Mandy and Abby. But with Jordan and Lindsay, you guys always seem to own the locker room. Like nothing really got to us unless it really, really, really had to. And I can't remember like anything major ever running across, coach's desk or our desk saying, hey, you guys have to really, take care of this. And I think you guys were always ahead of that, because the one thing is you guys did really like each other. There was not any envy or jealousy. Obviously there was competition, but you guys really cared about each other. It wasn't just about basketball. And then you cared about the program and the fans, and you embraced what being part of Lobo women's basketball was all about. So that mattered to you guys, and you see it this many years later, because again, you're a huge part of the tradition and history that was part of that. I don't know if, I mean, it's funny how like women's basketball has grown. And I tell people all the time because they're like, "Can you believe this crowd?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, kind of." And I kind of tell them, "You guys have like no idea. Like, we were playing teams that you couldn't. I couldn't talk to any of you guys that were on the bench
Mhm.
sitting next to me. I couldn't hear you. It was so loud for so long, the entire game. And when you had the ball, they calmed down. As soon as the other team got the ball, all you hear is a roar. It was absolutely amazing. So again, to try to help Amy Egan and her staff, and I really like what they've done. I mean, obviously times have changed with the money and with the portal, so you guys could come in and take people. You were taken under someone else's wing, and then you guys got a chance to do that. I don't know if that necessarily happens anymore because people leave,
Mhm.
so it's so transactional right now, but hopefully it levels out and it gets to that again.
Mhm.
Because it's just really hard to build a program in this day
For
and age.
sure.
Everybody just has to build a team, and
Mhm.
that's the hardest part. And let's not kid ourselves. Whoever has the most money is going to have a lot of really good players. That doesn't necessarily translate into playing together,
Mhm.
but it's just a different era with being able to find kids. And if they're late to a meeting, you can fine them $1,000 if I mean,
Oh, gosh.
yeah, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
If you don't go to class, it's just kind of crazy. So,
Yeah.
I just
uh,
always remember Coach Flanagan saying, "If you're 10 minutes early, you're late."
yeah,
It
yeah.
always stressed
If
me
you
out.
Still to this
remember,
day, I feel like I need to get to the airport like 2.5 hours early.
Yep.
Nobody can figure out why I'm panicked if I don't get to the airport 2 hours early.
Right.
I'm like, I
Life
don't want to be late. I
experiences.
don't want to be late.
well, no, and those are the times like we didn't have a bus that took us to the airport. I mean, we were
Oh
10
my
miles
gosh. Yeah,
away,
we'd have
but
to.
and then most of the time Coach drove, so it was you were meeting us at the airport, and then we
Yeah.
could get you on. But yeah, no, Coach Flanagan did a really good job with, just kind of, I don't know, helping you guys along the way. And I know there was the question that came out, you can answer whatever, but what are some of the things, and I'll go down the road, that this many years later that you remember that Coach Flanagan taught you or you learned from him? I'll start with you, Katie.
I think, I mean, like looking at my story, I wasn't supposed to end up at New Mexico. Um,
Right,
I I mean, I tore my ACL like
right.
right before my senior year, and all of a sudden all my the schools that were interested in me like decided not to like take away their scholarships. So I didn't have any place to go really. I mean, at a few schools still. And Coach Flanagan, uh, I wasn't even being recruited that much by him because I was like, I'm not gonna go that far away. And he like decided like, he found out that I was now interested in like I don't know, I just give him a lot of respect and I respect him a lot
Yeah,
for kind of believing in me and sticking with me and
right.
giving me a chance. And then even like when we got here, like I just remember him being, I think at the time, you're young, you have no idea, but like you look back and you're like, man, why didn't I do that more? Like he was really into like the visualization
Mm-hmm.
and the like thinking about your success, like and visualizing your success and all that kind of stuff. And when you're there, you're not probably doing it as much as you should, but I just remember that kind of like that pops up in my mind, like
Yeah.
how like I try and tell my kids that now, it's like the things they're saying in their head, like they're either good or bad. It's true, right? And so it's just like an
Yeah.
interesting thing. It's like, oh yeah, he was trying to do that with us when we were there, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
No, it's speaking into existence. Yeah, I remember watching you as a sophomore, Dalbert Pinnacle.
hmm
I believe was your
Yeah.
AAU club,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you'd hurt yourself, so I hadn't seen you in a year, and
Yeah.
then I figured we weren't going to get you because you're going to go to Nebraska or somewhere in the
Yeah.
Big Ten
Yeah.
because that's how good you were back then, and it was unfortunate. Like people don't shy away from injuries anymore now,
Yeah.
but back then they did, and
I mean, it was like, I just remember like when you're 17 years old, like it
Yeah.
was devastating. Like I was like, I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
able to play anymore. So I look back at it now and I think like, however, how it was devastating to tear my ACL, but I do think like it was God's plan to have me at New Mexico and like all the
For
things that
sure.
happened. And so like if that had to happen to get me there and to meet the people and have the teammates I did and to have that experiences, like, I mean, going conference tournaments, I mean, I played a lot. I didn't have to sit out.
Yeah.
So it's all, I'm just thankful.
Yeah. What about you, Julie? What are some of the takeaways you can get from your 4 years?
I mean, I think
Or
my situation was a little interesting, as but I kind of echo exactly what Katie said, not
yeah.
just with Coach Flanagan, but you and Shu also, like just believing in the decisions I made leading up to college and sticking with me, even though I decided not to play my senior year of high school.
Right.
You knew that I was doing what was best for me, and you guys believed in me, and you stayed right by my side through it all. So I think that was a blessing for me, coming from a very small town in Indiana.
For sure.
Basically, AAU ball was it for me, and I traveled
Right.
the country playing in all these different tournaments to get looks and things like that. So I think you guys just, the persistence and the belief in trusting me and what I decided to do was awesome. I think, like what Katie said, the words of affirmation. I mean, as a teacher now, not only do I do it with my kids here at home, but the positive affirmations are huge, even in schools. I mean, getting kids to believe that they can do good things that's been life changing for me, as a parent and also as an educator. So that's been a big thing for me, and also just you guys as a coaching staff as a whole, just always teaching us to do what was right and doing the right thing and doing it the right way all the time. Just instilling that in myself now that I instill it into my own children and kiddos that I teach. I think you guys were huge on doing what's right all the time, even if it's not the cool thing to do. Was a good life lesson for me too.
Yeah, the shoemate was always echoing in your ear. I got to get him on one time. I talk to him all the time, but he's just funny. Jana, what about you?
Well, I have to say, Coach Flanagan was with us a lot during practice and instilled a lot of things in us that, you can definitely take with you in life. But, most of the time I was visiting with you and shoemate. Y'all were always the one that were coming to me after a game if I was down or, if I didn't get to play or if I played real well. You two were really the ones that were with us, traveling with us and everything. So I say you two kind of were the ones that kind of kept me upbeat and kept me going. And I have to say, like, I had a great experience at UNM. I learned a lot about myself and, good and bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I think, a lot of us can say that, we all came from, playing a lot to not playing at all and playing some and being on the bench. And, I think that's kind of what, kind of brought us all together is we could all relate in one way or another. We all had bad days or days that just weren't going to be good, but just being able to, have somebody there that could relate to you coaches wise was great. Mm-hmm. So I'll have to say that's what I carried with me is, not every day is going to be great. You're not going to be the best player every single day. And, there's, lots of eyes on you. You mess up sometimes, but that's just life. And you move on.
I give all three of you guys a lot of credit. Especially with coming in, there was a lot of eyes because, there was a fan base and now they're reading about you. And back then there wasn't any social media. I think the message boards were up and coming, but
good thing, right?
You had to keep telling people, look, these guys are freshmen. Don't put any undue pressure. But there was a lot when you three came in because they were starting to get articles in the paper and on TV. And New Mexico's a unique place. You've got 3 TV stations. You're always on TV. You're always in the paper. And, and it's as a mid-major program, it's very, very unique in terms of media presence. But the way you guys handled yourself, good, from the good days and bad. There was times that I know it was killing you, sometimes when you guys didn't play, and you guys just handled it with such grace. But to me, you guys were always ready. So, Julie, when you got your time, you made it shine, and I mean, you gave it a hard time to take you off. Jana, same thing with you. When you got your opportunity, you made the best of it, and you went out there and did what you were supposed to do. And it was like, okay, well, we got to play Jana more. We got to play Jana more. We got to play Jana more. And you made it that opportunity, and then you get to the NCAA tournament and just kill it against Florida. And Katie, for you, yeah, the knee was still good, but there were still bumps and bruises with it. You had a few scopes, and there were
Yeah.
times we couldn't practice you all the time.
Yeah.
But all three of you always stayed ready. And it was just one of those things to see you guys grow as you did. And there was a lot more positives, I think, looking back with all three of you, being part of that program, because it was just you guys did things the right way. I mean, we could teach you how to do things the right way, but sometimes I mean, people are going to make their own decisions, and you guys chose to do that. And I'm sure you're doing that now with your children and how you guys live your life, and it's a great thing to see. So that's pretty awesome.
I think another thing that y'all kind of allowed was, anytime we brought recruits in, and we'd all hang out together as a team so they would know kind of what the team was like. And then, after they would leave, y'all would always ask, well, what's your opinion of them? Do you think that they're going to fit in? So y'all cared about us, all joining together as a team.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, they're a great player and we really, really want them. It was, do you think that they're going to fit in here with the rest of the team?
We actually dropped some kids. Yeah, we actually dropped some kids that were probably really, really good players. But it was like, I don't think so.
I can think of two just off the top of my head that were very, very good players, but they just did not fit. They just weren't the fit, and it wasn't gonna work.
Right. And it wasn't worth what you guys have built with the program. You don't just bring players in and destroy what the rest of you guys have built. And it was important to Coach Flanagan. It was very important to him, because it wasn't always about the best player for him. It was about who fit the system. And that was the most important thing. He used to say this about, teaching basketball. If you believe it and you can teach it, then run it. Offensively, defensively, but you have to believe in it. You can't just watch a video and say, hey, we're running dribble drive, or hey, we're going to press 40 minutes. You actually have to believe in it. But we believed in you guys because it was your program. It was what you guys have built. So that's actually a very good point.
Well, and I also think, go ahead. Go ahead, Kate.
Oh, I was just going to say, we had a really deep bench those years. So, I mean, we could play a lot of minutes, people could play a lot of minutes and then go sit down, and we wouldn't drop off when we would sub in. We had excellent players off the bench as well, and I think that kind of kept the starters in check, going, hey, if I don't play good, somebody else is there to take my spot. So
Ches is going to yell at me and set me on the bench.
I'll let you know.
You turn the ball over again until you get on the bench.
Just a few. What were you guys going to say?
Go ahead, Julie.
Oh, I was just going to say the one thing I also appreciated about, just to piggyback off what Jana was saying, is that your guys' doors were always open. It didn't matter when. I mean, a call away, you always had our best interest at heart. And so that was the nice thing for me, especially for being 20 plus hours away from home and very close-knit family. That move was hard for me. And so I knew UNM was where I wanted to be, but some days were kind of hard, being that far away from your family and struggling a little bit. And so I just always appreciated you guys. My teammates were always there, but having your guys' guidance, consistently and constantly, I really appreciate too. Because you don't get that very often, with a coaching staff as a whole.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and I think just you guys make us laugh daily, and I mean, our teammates were always making us laugh, and I think that was just a big and like for me, for Coach Flanagan, I mean, you come in and as a freshman and it's like kind of like, okay, like where am I at here? Am I like realistically, am I going to be able to like make this happen right away? Or, and I'm coming in and like behind Mandy and I'm like, oh crap, like I'm not gonna play at all. Like what is this?
Yeah.
And so
I
I
was there too,
knew
Peyton.
like they just won, Sweet 16. And I was like, all right, like so I just like and when I was in high school, like I really wasn't a 3-point shooter. I mean, I would shoot threes, but
That's crazy to me that you used to say that.
yeah, like I mean, I think like all of us in high school, right? It's like we kind of did it all like on your
Yeah.
teams like in high school, but I would say, and so I just remember thinking in my head, like, especially that freshman year when you're a little homesick and you're like, all right, you're going through these, preseason workouts on Fridays that you hate with Aaron. And it's like, oh my gosh, like you're dreading these things. And it's like, and I just remember I was like, all right, well, I'm probably not going to be starting point guard, right? So, like, what can I do to get in the game? And so I just remember thinking, like, and I remember having conversations with like Coach Schumann. It's like, all right, if I play defense and if I take care of the ball, like, so those were like my main goals. And it's just like, it's like, that's how I can get in the game. And then you get in the game a little more and you like are able to, and so like Coach Flanagan, it's like, if you could do certain things, it's like you could get in the game. And,
For sure.
And so
and they weren't scoring.
You're right. And scoring wasn't always the top, the top thing. And so and so I just think like having that mindset and having coaches that you could talk to about that and like stuff like that, like really was helpful.
Yeah. No, and it is hard. It really is because, when you're that age and you've played your entire life, it's like, okay, I know you're telling me this, but,
Right.
this is not working. And it's like, hang in there. There was a kid that I had at Michigan, Danielle Roush, who was a point guard, and her and another kid, Amy Dilk, from Indiana. I don't know if you know those names or not. You might, Julie.
Julie
But
does.
yeah. But Dilk came in as a freshman, as a starter, and Danielle rarely played. And there was an injury or there was something that happened. We were heading to the NCAA tournament, and in the bubble, it was San Antonio, and Amy didn't make the trip. So it's like, okay, and Roush was playing a little bit more and more and more, but she ended up leading us to the Sweet 16 when we're going, okay, here's a kid that's playing 4 minutes a game. And it's like, it's easy to have a Naz Hillman and some of the kids that we had, but the point guard, as you know, is really important, or the ball handler. And, kind of similar to you guys, that year, she waited her junior year, led us to the Sweet 16. I had left after that year. The next year they go to the Elite Eight. And, here's a kid that's probably no faster than me, pretty good shot, but she just had all the right mindset. And, that's kind of like you said, just do what you can do to help the team win. And you don't have to be any more, any less.
Right.
And it's funny now because she's an assistant coach with Michigan, and, she's back at her dream school. And we talk about it all the time because it's like you're a walking billboard of, hey, just be you. Just be you. So
and I think that's sometimes it's hard, especially these days, when everybody's getting paid and everybody's thinking it's like it's just the hard thing to tell 18-year-old kids.
It's difficult because the money is enticing. Like, people are getting so overpaid right now just because coaches and GMs need players. So there are players that are being extremely overpaid that are sitting the bench. Like last year, I watched a few games, and there was a kid that played for a certain school, and she was making like 80 grand playing 4 minutes a game. And it's
my gosh.
yeah, I mean, and you just go, but post player, and exactly.
I mean, if we made 80 grand when we were there, jeez.
Like 10
You know how much
grand,
candy
just
I
give
could
me
buy
Oh my gosh.
for my candy
We're all
bucket?
living together in
Yeah, that we
houses.
ate right before we went down the pit to play a game.
Oh, God, people they should throw money at you. You should be retroactive. You should be able to go back and make money.
We should.
I have a funny story. My my boys are playing football, right? And so high school football, and it's like they're in school, and it's like, hey, you're like not getting home till like 7 o'clock tonight. You need to like get some stuff to eat, like make sure it's in your bag. Like you got to eat between. And I was trying to like say like we got to eat like some of these healthy things, these protein things. And Brian looks at me and he's like, "Who are you to talk? You guys like ate Skittles and Starburst before you came down before you guys ran down to the tunnel at the pit." And I was like, "That's not wrong, but
but there's
do what
more.
I say, not as I do.
Wow. Jana would call that the axis of evil. You called everything the axis of evil back then.
I blame it on Judy. I blame it on Judy.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I couldn't say Julie and Judy in one sense, and I'm like, you just get over here.
Something.
Yeah.
Anything.
But like Jana was right. I remember that 2004, 2005 team. We averaged like 12,000 fans a game,
Mm-hmm.
and coach played like 11 deep every game.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that are playing better would play, whether you were a starter or not. But we were so deep that when we went to the Sweet 16 in 2003, everybody, like, I think we were picked fifth, the next year. And I'm like, I don't know if I'd do that, guys, but whatever. And man, what a year we had. Like, everybody thought we wouldn't do anything. And I mean, what was it? 2 championships with you guys or 3?
3.
3 for us. Yeah.
3 for us, but 3. I think
we lost my senior year, the conference championship, but I won the 3 prior.
Yeah, so you guys have 3 championships under your belt, 4 NCAA tournaments. That's pretty amazing.
Well, and I think it's interesting because it's like, even if you look at it, it's like Jan and Abby, and then Julie and I's class with Timmy, and then Dion, and Brandy. Who else? Isn't, but like, weren't we the only ones that had probably? Because they won their championship when they were senior, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then like, so we're the only classes that went 4 straight years to NCAA tournament, and
I think it was Mandy's team went, starting with Mandy. They went all 4 years.
Mandy went.
So Mandy, because Mandy's freshman year we lost in the Mountain West tournament, but we got an at-large bid. That was like the first at-large bid they ever received.
So Mandy, yeah.
So that was like Mandy's freshman year.
Okay. I mean, so it's just, I think, again, it's just like.
But that's amazing.
Looking back at it now, it's like, you talk to other former D1 athletes, and like, I mean, from Nebraska, I know some, and they're like, we went once, we didn't go at all, or some we didn't go at all. And it's like, I just, like we said, it's like, it was just expected. Like, I didn't think we weren't going to go.
No. And that's what it was like, we're not scheduling for the NIT. We're not,
right.
We it's the NCAAs. That's where we're going. That's the kind of players that we're recruiting. That's the kind of people that we want in our program. And, you're exactly right. It was NCAA or bust. And I know back then the Mountain West was a much better league. So there was, careful there. He's got a ghost. Oh, there it is. It's a spite. Oh, jeez.
Got him. Sorry.
That was. I did see that. That was kind of funny. But no, it was a tremendous, just feat for you guys. And I know that the Mountain West isn't as good, but I think it's starting to strive to get better. UNLV's still in it. Grand Canyon's going to be good. I do think New Mexico has a good team, and they have a shot. I don't know about really the rest. Wyoming, like some of the newbies in San Jose State, some of those guys. You just never know what they get from one year to another, but or with the money they have. But and I know I'll respect your guys' time. We got a few more minutes, but I'll start with you, Julie, and go down. What is some advice that you can give Coach Egan and her Lobos for this year's team?
I guess I would just say just like you said before, and what we've kind of talked about, is just kind of staying true to what you believe in. I mean, I think that that's first and foremost, and that's how you're going to build a program and how you're going to bring some of us back, is just being true to who you are and doing things the right way and just being consistent with that.
That's yeah, well said. What about you, Katie? What advice do you have?
Yeah, I mean, I just think making sure you're keeping people accountable for their actions and their like, bring them in and like what you want for your program and like you bring them in, you tell them and like you stick to it and
Yeah,
you know, make sure they know you really care and make sure,
yeah,
and like you said, like I think this it's hard these days to keep people because
yeah,
everybody can just transfer. And so I can't even imagine because like when
yeah.
I don't even think I thought of one time leaving, I didn't even think that
Right.
was an option. So I just think they've made it so easy to do that. And I think as a coach, that's really hard because you're
Yeah,
basically trying to recruit your own players to stay.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And you're doing that in December, really.
right. And so I just think that's really hard. And so you just gotta try and make people just believe in what you're doing and
Right.
make that sure that they care or you care about
Yeah.
them and also honestly like if you get the parents on board
Yeah.
that might help.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Very much so. Very, very much so. Jana, what about you?
I think so far, I think she's done a great job of, she's saying that she's trying to get out into the community, which I think is really big because I know that, our teams, we were out in the community doing camps, we were everywhere you could think of. And I think when you make those connections with the community, those people are going to come in and they're going to want to be fans and they're going to want to root you on. And,
Yeah.
they want us to be successful. I think she's also doing a good job of, learning from the past. She's got in touch with the alumni, the people that have been there. She's done Zoom meetings to where asking, what worked for y'all and, what
Yeah.
made your program successfar. And I think that's really important to look to the past, to
Yeah.
continue on the legacy that, I can say that, Abby Garchek and them brought a long time ago.
Right.
So I just think she's just doing a good job. I think she just needs to continue that. Of course, bring
Yeah.
in players. I think if we can
Right.
get the fan base up, like I said, I think a lot of us enjoy just playing, not going to an empty gym. We enjoy
Right.
playing for the fans and,
Right.
not being able to hear because everybody was screaming so loud. I mean, there's so many other things, that are important to some people. A lot of people aren't going to make a lot of money, but they're going to want
Right.
to come and they're going to want to play for people
Yeah.
to scream and yell and have a good time. I mean,
Yeah.
I know for us, just running down that ramp and everybody screaming, and it was just one of those things that you look back on and go, wow, that was just something to remember. And you try to explain it to other people, like you couldn't hear. We were having to scream at each other. We were going next to each other. So
Yeah.
I think if, she can get the fans back on board,
Yeah.
coming, then I think that, I think that'll also help get some players in there because it doesn't matter how much somebody's paying you if you're playing in an empty gym.
Right.
It's not
Right.
as great.
I still know this too. I mean, coaching where I've coached, even after New Mexico, I went to Michigan, Arizona State, all phenomenal places with good players and fan bases. But New Mexico will still always be the best fan base that I've ever coached under, ever. And that will never change. And I go around to a lot of games now with my friends. I'm really close with Chris Daly at UConn, so I'll go to UConn games, and they've got a great fan base. Don't get me wrong, but I still haven't been to a place that has been New Mexico. I haven't. That's that loud, that's that engaging, that just is maniacal in their team. And I agree with all of you. I think Amy Egan is doing a phenomenal job. I think the fan base is going to get on board. The alumni, you guys will get on board because I think once you get there and meet her face to face and her staff, you'll understand how genuine and wonderful she really is. And then the fans are just ready to come back and they're ready to cheer on the Lobos. I think they are, and I don't know what they got before. I'm not sure, but I think that she really wants you guys back, and she wants Lobo basketball back. So that's why for me, I'd love to help her in any way possible. So hopefully we'll all just plan on going to a game sometime and go
That'd
eat
be
at
awesome.
Sadie's. Yeah, we'll rent the
Yes.
room at Sadie's.
Or
and-
Frontier,
Or
or is that still
Frontier.
open?
We'll call the Renisheks. I'll call Larry and Dorothy. We'll rent a back room and we'll all just hang out there.
Yeah.
Somewhere that doesn't mind a lot of children running around.
Oh,
chaos.
You know what we should do is just go to the top of the pit, that area, and just cater in food, and because they could run till their heart's content. Maybe just run them up and down the stairs a few times. They'll be tired.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Any last minute words of encouragement? Anything that you guys want to close on?
Go ahead, Julie.
No, I was just going to say this is a great opportunity to kind of get us all back together again, and I'm really glad that she's doing this and that you're a part of it. It's great seeing you again too, and just kind of getting to reconnect. And with this platform has been amazing, and I hope it continues because I've enjoyed watching the other episodes as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like even watching Mandy and Abby, and it was just like takes you right back, you know. And
I gotta get them back because that was kind of a cluster. It was the first one, and they were driving back from places.
Oh, I saw her in it. Yeah,
they both looked like they were in witness protection.
Yeah, but that Sweet 16 one
too.
was
So
pretty awesome.
you'll have fun.
That was good to.
Yeah, I gotta get those two back, and maybe with I've talked to Brandy, and I've talked to Dion, so I want to try to get them. Actually, Brandy lives right down the street from me. I just found out, so definitely want to go and see her and make sure she's doing well. But she's a doctor too, so she's busy with her patients and all that. So, and then Dion is in Tennessee, so trying to, get it at a proper time. We might have to tape that in because it'll be like midnight by the time we start hers. So, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, we've got to plan it. I know Amy really wants to try to plan a alumni game. They haven't got the conference schedule out yet. So, as soon as I hear something, definitely will be on the track with you guys. I finally figured out my phone and got an alumni list, so if I'm missing anybody, I definitely want their numbers and try to get with them. But
I mean, one more thing, Sanchez. I just want to say, like, I do appreciate you and even Shoemate, and I just feel like you guys do a really good job of keeping in touch with all of us, or like whenever you're visiting, you try and contact us, or like, years back when we had a little kid, one of our little ones was sick, like you guys called. Like, I just, that's something that's like really special. And you guys do a really good job of like keeping in contact or trying to, or when you're around, you try and at least call us. And even if we can't get together. So I just like, that's really on you, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that. I'll get Shoemate on one of these too, and we'll talk old times. We'll talk about you guys. But Shoemate and I talk to each other quite a bit, actually. So it's good to have him. And when I go home and visit my parents, we'll get together and do something. Or I tell him to smoke a brisket or something because I'm hungry. Well, I want to be respectful of your time. I truly mean this. I love you guys immensely. I love you all. I just have really good memories, you and your families, and please, if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know.
Thank you.
Same.
All right, guys. All right, well, thank you very much, Eric. This is the latest episode of Lobo Legends. Appreciate you three, and hopefully we'll get you all together in person soon.
All right, thanks, Sanchez.
Thanks, Coach.
Bye, guys.
Bye.